Step into the spotlight.
Hey guys, Underground Geek here, and I gotta say, this is probably one of the creepiest things that I've ever read. Uh, I've never really talked about Silver Surfer because it's boring and I didn't really like it, but everybody kept saying, "Oh, it's so good, it's so good," and everybody, by everybody I mean one person, but it got canceled like halfway through. Then they started over with a number one again, and then it got canceled again. And it's number 14, but Dan Slott seems to think it's number 29 because things don't matter and only feelings matter. So I read this book after watching Diversity in Comics video, and I thought, there's no way, Diversity in Comics is just playing this up. There's no way that this is that bad. Well, yes, it is that bad. I found some stuff that even he didn't talk about, and so now we're going to talk about it. This is issue number 14. This is the last one of the excruciating Silver Surfer. Anywhere and everywhere. Hang on, it says. And there's a reflection in the water of him and his girlfriend Dawn. And so let's talk about this. It says, chosen by Galactus to be his herald and imbued with the power cosmic, Norrin Rad from the planet Zenla became the Silver Surfer. Now freed from his servitude to the World Eater, the Silver Surfer travels the spaceways on a mission of heroism and discovery. Sounds like it could be a good story. And so then it says, born to a couple of very nice people in the small town of Anchor Bay, Massachusetts, a young girl in love with her hometown grew up to be Dawn Greenwood. That's slightly unspectacular. Co-manager of the Greenwood Inn. That is, until she was kidnapped by aliens. Oh gosh. Together, the Silver Surfer and Dawn conquered cosmic villainy, and Dawn chose to accompany the Surfer on his space adventures. After finding themselves trapped in a universe that existed before ours, Dawn and Norrin embarked on their most important adventure, living a full and happy life together. I somehow think that was all according to Silver Surfer's plan, kidnap her and then trick her into loving him. It's kind of weird. While they waited for Galan of Ta, the man who would become Galactus, to build the incubus cell that could take them back to their universe, they grew old together exploring the stars. After a lifetime of adventure, Dawn passed away with no regrets, and the Silver Surfer waited alone for the universe to be reborn. So basically, he made himself look old. He wasn't really that old. It was kind of a weird relationship. It was the whole Highlander deal where all your wives become old and die and you're still around. Very weird. The moment has finally come to leave Ta, but the Surfer couldn't abandon Dawn, so he converted her body into cosmic energy and took off after the incubus cell. That's weird. A power greater than cosmic. Storytellers are Dan Slott and Michael Allred, and I have to only think that it was probably mostly Michael Allred, as Dan Slott is constantly on Twitter every day, all day. Color artist is Laura Allred. Letterer is Joe Sabino. The cover is Michael and Laura Allred. You noticing something here? Michael and Laura are doing everything. But anyway, so then we start out here and it says, the threshold of the death and birth of all things. And I'm going to show you what's so creepy about this book. So he's got Dawn's energy there. He blasts her off into nothing so that she can be part of the universe. And so he's sitting there telling somebody something. He's like a storytelling time. And he's telling them about it, and then we continue on with the story here. He disguises himself as someone else, and then becomes transparent so that he can watch the universe happen. Basically, he's just biding his time until Galactus is created, even though we already talked about how that was already over with. So then he knows how he can be with Dawn again, so he travels to Earth, which is now present day, or past time of when Dawn was being born. Then he goes to Dawn's house with her as a kid and stalks her for the next 10 years. Does this sound like an issue or an episode of Criminal Minds to you? And not only that, but Dawn's and her sister's dad looks just like Dan Slott. Look at the pictures of him. It looks just like Dan Slott. So basically, Dan Slott is consenting to give away his child to a weird creeper. Yeah. Does that sound like some kind of weird fantasy tale that Dan Slott came up with? So basically, the guy, a Silver Surfer, finds Dawn as a child with her sister and their dad. There's no wife for some reason. I understand that, there's circumstances that happen, there's no wife, but this would have been a lot less creepy if you would have inserted a wife into this story. But you can't do that because they don't know how women function. That's why Dawn is so unrealistic in this. And so he basically comes up and acts like a customer, even though he's got the weird sunglasses on like Cyclops. And nobody questions that. Nobody questions the weird sunglass things over his face. He looks like the dude from Star Trek. But then he says, well, I was just passing by and I heard that this inn was one of the nicest places in the universe. And Dawn's like, it is. And he says, and the dad says, definitely in the world. And so as they're talking, they basically become acquainted. And then the dad invites the dude to dinner. He sits next to the girls. They have no idea who this guy is. I know this is a business and you're trying to get people to stay at the inn, but they have no idea who this is. It's a full-grown man, a full-grown kind of creepy-looking man. He's going to have them just eat dinner with them. Okay. So anyway, basically, he starts coming by every summer for the next 10 years. And he's building sandcastles with these little girls. I mean, this is the weirdest thing ever. This is creepy. And you might say, well, this is only creepy because of the whole SJW, philosophy in the past couple of years. No. If a full-grown man came by every year like clockwork to these, and there's nobody else, I never even see anybody else really doing anything except for one or two kids, and I just want to cut to this one page here. Basically, this shows their adventures as the girls are growing up and becoming women with this Norrin guy, which is Silver Surfer. I just want to show you these pictures. Look at Norrin in each one of these pictures. He is a creeper constantly staring in the background at these girls the entire time with no expression on his face. Is that not the creepiest thing you've ever seen? So basically then he leaves, but he doesn't really explain. He gives them a hologram, but he doesn't really explain if they ever use it or not. I don't really understand that. So then it catches back up with him to the point to where Dawn has, been kidnapped by the aliens before, she's going to meet Silver Surfer and go on adventures and be pretty much married to him and then die. And this is what he says to the dad. The dad says, Dawn, she's missing. We can't find her anywhere. It's like she vanished off the face of the earth. I don't know why he said that, but that was weird. And then this is what Silver Surfer had to say back to him. Oh, don't worry, Reg Greenwood. I will find her. I promise. That's weird. That is so weird. Basically, you're saying, I will find her and I will marry her. Oh, God. That is so creepy. So then basically you see all their adventures, in this little montage, what all happens to them. He's watching in the background like a creeper. So he's a voyeur of his own life with himself, with Dawn. And he's watching all the time. So he's obviously watching during their intimate times too, which is extremely weird. And he's telling these people about it. So he's telling this hologram version of Dawn about the time that he watched himself and the real Dawn live out their life together. It should be sweet, but it comes off as weird. So then time catches up with him even further, and then he basically goes to find Dawn's sister and her husband and son and all that stuff, and tells her that her sister is gone forever, and which is really weird. And then says, well, but I gave you these holograms of them. And so then they get holograms of them, and then he gives the hologram person Dawn hologram versions of her family. And this is all just really weird. And he brings back the Dan Slott. And the Dan Slott dad at this point looks just like Dan Slott, even more so than before. He's wearing the same clothes that Dan Slott wears when he's in the YouTube videos and stuff. It's extremely weird. And so then he gives her a hologram version of himself, very Dr. Manhattan style. Have this hologram versions of me and just become in a relationship with him. That's not weird at all. And so then he talks about how when he sent Dawn out into the cosmos, that she became the dawn of creation, pretty much. So every time they think about the first dawn, and all these creatures see sunlight for the first time, that it's actually dawn, and it's not. It's just light. You didn't create the universe. And then he's talking about how when he created the cosmic power, which was actually given to him, that he made it red and black polka dotted after Dawn's outfit, because that was her outfit. This is creepy beyond belief. So when he's blasting people with his cosmic energy, he's thinking about his girlfriend. Yep. And so then we just get this weird story of how he's always with her, but he's not with her, but there's hologram versions of him. This is weird. You're being weird, Dan. This is weird. You've created like this weird girlfriend and for yourself, and then you had a whole lifetime with them, and then you brought them back from the dead, and there's hologram versions now, and you're not Doctor Who. Quit trying to be Doctor Who, because you just come out as a weird pedo, okay? Because you had this dude grow up with these little girls and then secretly want a relationship with her. I mean, this is very, very strange. It would have been better if she had a mother that was kind of involved, and then maybe Silver Surfer come back as a kid, made himself into a kid and kind of grew up with her so that he could experience childhood with her. That would have been slightly weirder, or less weird, but still weird. You're weird, Dan. You're weird. So that's basically all I had to say about this. Like, this is creepy to the point to where Dan needs some psychological help here. And let's also talk about the fact that he didn't even promote this book until after it was announced that it was canceled. If you go to his Twitter feed, it's Trump, 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 Trump all day long. He never even talked about anything unless it was every now and then he would talk about Spider-Man, because he would get mad because somebody said it sucked. And then after it was canceled, then he was like, oh yeah, go out and buy Silver Surfer. Go buy the omnibus. Yeah, because we're going to totally bank everything on the omnibus of this. We didn't care about the floppies at all. No, we don't care about that. And then he puts himself in his own book, which is extremely pretentious. And it's a creepy, weird situation where he's giving her away to Silver Surfer. This is beyond creepy, guys. I just had to talk about it, though. That's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you think about it. That's just what I had to say about it. That's what I got from the book. But you just wait. All of the critics are going to say this is one of the best books ever written, but they're not going to talk about this fact right here, that he comes off as a weird pedo. But anyway, guys, tell me what you think. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. I may start a Patreon so that I can donate this money to Dan so he can get some psychological help. I know Marvel doesn't pay very good right now, so maybe that's the reason he's not getting the help that he needs. But I do think it's important that everyone with a mental disorder like Dan get the help that they need. But all right, guys, I'll talk to you later. That's all I got to say. I got more reviews coming out today that are slightly less creepy than this one. Underground Geek out, guys. Bye-bye.